Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a little light up, it's a little mini tea light, sort of lantern type thing that I made. It's kind of hard to see with the lights on, but pretty easy to make. And let me show you how it's done. I'll turn that light on so you can see a little bit better. So I've got these little tea lights. They're not tea lights. They're LED Votive candles. And I got them from Amazon. They're just, they look like this. There's a box of 12 of them. They're pretty cheap. And they just, have a little light. And they're just plastic. They're not wax or anything. And then I cut strips of white card. And this is 65 pound or 176 GSM cardstock. And I cut 3 layers. And the first layer is because these votives, if you measure around, it's about 5 1/4 inches around, but I'm going to put foam tape between the layers so they're not, so you have to cut the layers a little bit bigger. So this one's actually almost 6 inches, and I used the edgeable forest die from Crafter's Companions from one of the Christmas collections years ago, and I'm going to just put that around there with some foam tape. So the way that I did it is I've just got this foam tape and I just went around the candle with 2 layers. So I put 2 layers of tape just pretty much at the bottom of the candle. And I wanted to make these little mini ones because they're going to go in a little 4-inch gift box for a advent calendar. So that's why I was kind of limited on the size. And I wanted to use these little votives because you can get a lot of them in bulk. They're easy to make. They're cheap. And they're pretty cute. Like they'd make really cute little table decorations or something. And then the way that I did it is I stood it up on the glass mat and then kind of set one side up against the tape and then worked my way around. Okay. And I didn't cut it exactly to size. And you can see that it overlaps. And to me, that's overlapping too much. So then once it's on there, you can cut it off to get it to the right length. Okay. And then I ran a little bead of glue just up that edge of that cardstock to stick it down and just make it even. That glue grab. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next layer. So we're going to run another layer of foam tape around. We're going to put foam tape between each and every layer, and that gives you enough of a depth to let the light pick up each layer individually. Okay. And it helps to kind of bend each layer before you put it on. Now this layer is just a strip of white cardstock, and then I put 6 little trees, and the trees I cut from the Crafter's Companion Christmas Rose. They're the Winter Wonderland trees. And I just glued them on the back, as you can see. And I don't know if you can tell, but I sort of bent the trees a little bit like, to kind of round them a little bit. And then I just used my bone folder like this to curve that paper. And then you're going to put it around in the same way that you did the other. So I'm going to wrap it. And then I'm going to trim the edge off. one edge and then the other. And it's easier to trim the edges of the paper after you get it on there rather than trying to measure and figure out exactly how long you need it to be, because it's just really hard to tell. Because once you get the foam tape on there, it changes the measurements. Okay, so there's layer 2. So I've got a background layer of trees, I've got a foreground layer of trees. In my next layer, I've got 2 little deer. Now these deer are from the Crafter's Companion Create a Card, Wonderful Woodland. And it's got several animals, but it's got 2, a stag and a doe that I used just on a strip of white card. Okay, and these are just I cut it from 8.5 by 11, so this is just 8.5 inches long. And mine are that I cut the strips 4 inches high, and then I cut the edgeable into it, and then I cut this strip 4 inches high, and I cut the deer, and then I trim that out and stuff. And then the other one's just about an inch and a half, and then I glued the trees on. And I did that because my boxes are 4 by 4.5 or 4 by 4, and I wanted it to fit in my 4 by 4 box. So, but you can make them taller if you want, or you could use a bigger candle to make it bigger around if you really wanted to. Like I said, I didn't because I want it to fit in a 4-inch box. Okay, and same thing again. We're just gonna put our deer where we want them. Wrap that around, and then wrap the other side. And then where it overlaps, we're just gonna trim it off. Okay. And you can see I didn't get these the same height, so I'm just gonna kind of trim in there. Put a little bit of bead of glue on that edge so it doesn't unravel. And that's it. You're done. Now you turn it on. You can kind of see, let me turn that light off. You can kind of see how it glows through the paper, the different layers of paper. So anyway, hope you like that. Thanks for watching.